The other day, a man told me that he didn't think I would understand because I'm a woman and women are emotional. And he, as a man, he was logical. As a licensed therapist, it made me chuckle because I believe that many men don't realize that they hide behind their logic, especially the men that have a habit of being in relationships with women and they are able to make their needs more important than the women in their lives. Have you ever noticed that your needs, when you express them, he has a way of gaslighting you or minimizing your needs? He wants to negotiate with you what you can get in the relationship. He'll tell you that what you're asking for isn't important, but he's very demanding as it relates to his needs. See, there are many men that hide around being logical, but really they want to be emotionally neglectful. There's a difference between being emotionally neglectful and being emotionally unavailable. A man who is emotionally neglectful is making a decision that your needs don't matter and he's not going to meet your needs. Now, a man who's emotionally unavailable, he doesn't have capacity. And sometimes women confuse the two. You're thinking that he's emotionally unavailable, and the truth is he's being neglectful. He has no intention of meeting your needs and where you are. So I want to give you 5 signs that this man is emotionally neglectful. Now, before I do, you're going to have to make some decisions, because neglect is intentional. And this means that if you're in a relationship with a man who's emotionally neglectful, he's intentionally not giving you what you need, want, desire, and what you're asking for. If you're new here, welcome to Heal the New Sexy, where we discuss all things healing, self-love, and relationships. My name is Samantha. I am a licensed therapist and coach. So, sign number 1, and this is one of the clearest indicators that this man is emotionally neglectful, is that he isn't responsive to your needs, but expects you to meet his. Now, if you are watching this video, you are probably like, Samantha, I'm doing everything for him. I cook, I clean, I'm affectionate with him, I'm understanding, I'm intentional with the little things, giving him the things that make him happy, that I know that bring him joy. But when I ask for something, Samantha, when I need something, he doesn't reciprocate it. The thing is that your needs to him are not mandatory, but his needs to you are. He feels like he can negotiate your care. He wants you just to accept him of the way that he is. I remember working with a young lady and she was like, Samantha, I wish that he communicated more. Not just necessarily his emotions, but just communicated things that were going on in his day-to-day life. He feels very shut off to me. And when I've talked to him about that, he's like, oh, I'm introverted. Oh, I don't talk a lot. She said, but meanwhile, Samantha, I can see his friends call and he has a conversation with his friends. And I feel deprived in my own relationship. Matter of fact, I feel lonely. And I explained to her, he's being neglectful. And it's intentional. If the same man you see can be on the phone talking to his boys for hours or going to hang out with his friends, but he refuses to communicate with you, he is doing that intentionally. He is depriving you of your emotional needs. But dare you deprive him of what he wants, whether it's affection, whether it's sex, whether it's attention, right? Whether it's support. It's a requirement of you. And this is the thing. Many of us, especially, I'm going to say around the world, not just in the US, around the world as women, we were raised to give emotional labor. We were raised to give physical labor. We were raised to be self-sacrificing. We were raised to abandon ourselves. And there are men that know that. There are men that know that whatever need that they give to you, that you have been raised to be responsive to it. That's why I did that video, Stop Raising Your Daughters to Serve Grown Men. Because even as children, we were raised that another person's needs were more important than ours. And that's why when you have a emotionally neglectful partner, it impacts your self-esteem. That's why it can cause you to be anxious. It can reinforce attachment issues. It can also trigger your nervous system because you are in a relationship with a partner that's essentially telling you what you want is not important. Meanwhile, he is demanding more of you. And what happens is that you are one person taking care of the emotional needs of 2 people. Why is it that you're in a relationship with a man, but you have to self-soothe? Now, it's important that you have the ability to self-soothe, but he doesn't take any emotional responsibility. He doesn't take any emotional labor within the relationship. That's problematic. He's not there to offer you comfort. That's problematic. Number 2, he is dismissive of how you want to be cared for. I see this early, well, not just early on in relationships, but I see this quite happen when women are working with me, that they are able to identify that there were some things that they asked for early on in the relationship, and he kind of hinted that they were asking for too much. This doesn't have to do with emotional needs, but let's talk about the whole coffee debate conversation, right? Girlies, there are some girlies that don't want to go to coffee. There are girlies who don't like coffee. But if a man tells you that that's the only option that you have, he is going to make you compromise your needs later on. Now, that's a preference not to go to coffee unless you don't drink coffee or something like that. Or you may just not want to, right? You don't think that going on a coffee date is appropriate, and I get it. But if a man acts like that in the beginning, he is going to continue to do that. You should not be in a relationship with a man who thinks that he can be dismissive of your needs. If you need affection, if you need support, if you need quality time, do not be in a relationship with a man, or don't date a man who thinks that he can minimize it. You teach people how to take care of you by what you accept. And if those are the things, or if you see that he's attempting to minimize what you want, or he says you're too demanding, you're too needy, or the men that attempt to humble you, the men that come in your life and say, oh, you need somebody to tell you no. How you come in somebody's life thinking that you can tell them no and they're supposed to keep you around? That boggles my mind. But some men really have some audacity. Oh, your daddy spoiled you. Oh, he gave you too much. That is a man who's communicating to you that he doesn't want to meet your emotional needs. Period. Also, another thing that a man may be emotionally neglectful and other things is that when he tries to separate you from your family or your friends, you talk to your mom on the phone too much, you talk to your sister on the phone too much, but you're in a home with him and he doesn't want to communicate with you. He doesn't want to talk to you. No. So he's dismissive of how you want to be cared for. Instead of learning you, he tells you why you shouldn't need those things. I know you've experienced it. I know he doesn't become curious. He becomes defensive. Why do you need that? Why do you want that? Why we got to do that? It don't take all that. You are responsible for teaching someone how to care for you. He's saying, I want access to you, but I don't want to care for you. And the thing is, again, neglect is intentional. Let's take it like this. Okay, boom. We all have cars. Many of us do, right? You have a car. You may live in a big city. You don't have a car. No one ever looks at a car and is dismissive of its needs, because you know that if I don't take care of this car, it's going to break down on me. Ain't no man talking about, so why you need more gas? Why I got to charge you more? Why I got to do this? So why is he in a relationship with you asking why he got to do these things for you? And the better question is, why are you allowing him to tell you what it is that you need? You are an expert on you. He is not an expert on you. He's learning you. And all women, we ain't created equal. We're not created the same. We're created equal. We're not created the same. We're different. So why would you allow a man in your life, in your space, and then him tell you don't need it? You good? I remember seeing a lady on YouTube, on TikTok, and this is different, but he was like, babe, she had just had a child. Babe, you took that pain medicine? And he was like, yeah. He was like, well, when the nurse comes in, tell her we're good. That's enough pain medication. Excuse you? Excuse you? She carried a baby for 9 months, birthed that baby, and then you're talking about, so that's good. He didn't even ask her how she was feeling emotionally, how she was feeling physically. He didn't validate her. Oh yeah, baby, just tell, you're good. In that moment, he was not emotionally safe. The third one, he isn't concerned about your comfort, which I gave that example. He wasn't concerned about her comfort. Oh yeah, babe, that's enough medication. Oh yeah, no, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not, right? Does he notice when you're comfortable emotionally, physically, socially? He brings you over to the family cookout. Does he just leave you? Or does he introduce you to his family? Does he make sure that you feel safe and secure? Or let's say there's a situation that maybe he has a girl best friend. I'm not going to touch it. Does he make you feel secure in the relationship? Does he check in with you? Or are you constantly expected to accommodate him? Is it expected that you will adjust because an emotionally neglectful partner expects that you'll adjust? I remember telling my son's father, I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I'm drowning. I need help. He got his schedule changed. He was working from 7 to 3. But do you think he volunteered to help me? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. And I remember calling him because I got off at 5. He got off at 3. I'm like, okay, hey, where are you at? Thinking that he would go pick up our son. Oh, I'm going to the gym. I'm getting ready to play basketball with the boys. And I'm like, the purpose of you changing your schedule, we talked about it, was so that you could be more available to your family. But see, he wanted to be emotionally neglectful. He was going to do whatever he wanted to do. And so you know what I had to do? I had to make a decision. And the decision was, this relationship isn't healthy for me. I'm not going to continue to drown in this relationship. I'm not going to do the emotional work for two people. I'm not going to do it. So I'd rather be a single mom and be emotionally available for my son and myself than be in a relationship with a man who's making the decision that his needs, his wants, and his desires are more important than that of his family. And if you're there, you schedule a coaching call with me so that we can work together. Okay? And this is the thing, especially when you're dating a man who isn't concerned with your comfort. After a while, you'll stop advocating for yourself. You'll just live in the discomfort, because many of us have been taught, conditioned, shaped, and trained that relationship require work. Some people even say relationships are hard. So you just think this is hard. No, this is not hard. What is hard is being in love with a person who doesn't love you enough to show up for you. That's what's hard. Because if you are meeting his needs, there has to be reciprocity in the relationship. But you are teaching him by staying that he doesn't have to meet your needs, that he doesn't have to be attentive to you, right? The fourth one is that he doesn't celebrate you. Appreciation is so important in relationships. This is where you want your presence to be noticed and your value to be appreciated. This is when you want him to clap for you because you passed the test that you thought you couldn't. This is where he celebrates you because he knows that you've been working hard, that you've been staying up late. Either if it's like growing a business, if it's being featured on a podcast, he's like, babe, I knew you could do it. It could be growing your YouTube. He's there to celebrate. Not only is he there to celebrate you, he also encourages you. He speaks life into you. He says, baby, I know you can do it. Girl, keep your head up. Okay, yeah, you didn't pass it this time, but you'll pass it the next time. He's the one making flashcards for you so that you can pass the test. But a man who doesn't celebrate you is emotionally neglectful. Because the emotionally healthy partner wants to see you win. He celebrates you when you get promoted. Some of you aren't going for the promotions because you know that if I go for the promotion, then it'll be the end of my relationship, that I have to shrink and I have to be small in order to be in this relationship, that I can't grow in this relationship. Some of you are in relationships where you have outgrown him. You're physically there, but you have emotionally outgrown him. And you're like, Cynthia, but I love him. I care about him. But you're no longer in the same place because you may have done your healing work, or you're doing your healing work and you're realizing this is a healthy relationship for me to be in. What he's offering to me is not enough to satisfy me. And see, when a woman starts talking about the things, her pleasure or being satisfied, now all of a sudden she's a bad woman, because we were not raised that a relationship was about us. We were raised that a relationship is about him, what he wants, what he needs. He's the leader. He sets the tone. He gets the big piece of chicken. You fix his plate first. Like, there are so many conversations that are so stupid to me. Like the conversation of, oh, if you're cooking, who gets their plate first, your husband or your children? A man who wants to be a husband and a father will say, baby, fix the plate for the kids and fix your plate. I'll come fix my plate. You've had a hard day. But there's so much commentary online that supports men being selfish in their relationships and women being sacrificial. And when somebody says, no, you should be treated with care, that there should be reciprocity in the relationship, now they're a problem. Now single women should be quiet. Okay. Now this is the thing. A man who doesn't celebrate you, right? He is overlooking your victories. He changes the subject. He acts indifferent, or somehow he makes it about him. So those girlies who are like, don't do anything on my special day. I'm graduating. It's my birthday. I'm defending my dissertation. Don't do anything. And then he come and he propose. And she's like, you're making this about you versus it about me. That could be a sign he's emotionally neglectful. Because you clearly asked him, don't do this on this day. Don't do it on my birthday. Don't do it on my graduation. Please don't do it. And what did he say? I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. Because it's about me and about what I want and how I want to be seen. I want to one up you on your birthday. Yes, you defended your dissertation, but I want to one up you. Yes, you're graduated, but I want to one up you. Or it's where you're supposed to be celebrated, but he picks a fight. He gets angry with you. He shows up. It's your children's birthday. It's supposed to be a pleasant experience. He shows up there and he's mean and he's mad because the children are being celebrated. And these may be his biological children, or these are his children that may have come from a previous relationship. See, a man who's emotionally neglectful is only concerned about his emotional needs being met. And if anybody around him is being celebrated, now he wants to show up and he wants to pout, or he wants to cause chaos because he wants the focus to be on him. If a man downplays your accomplishments, that's problematic. Let's say you get a promotion at work, right? You split your bills a certain way. Now all of a sudden he doesn't have his half. A man who's emotionally neglectful is withholding it because he wants you to be in survival mode. He wants to target your nervous system. He wants to target your attachment. He wants you to feel insecure. He wants to attack your self-esteem. He's emotionally neglectful, and it's intentional. It's a weapon being formed against you, sugar. All right. Number 5, he's only emotionally available when he needs something. So I want you to notice the pattern. When he's stressed, he wants support. When he's discouraged, he wants reassurance. When he wants intimacy, he expects closeness. But when you're struggling, when you're overwhelmed, when you feel like you're drowning, he's not there. He's distracted. He's unavailable. He's annoyed. Or all of a sudden, he doesn't know what to say. See, a person who's emotionally neglectful, they demand emotional labor from their partner. Meanwhile, they don't believe it's expected of them to reciprocate. So that's why when you're in your time of need, when you need him, when there's something happening at work and you need to talk to him about it, oh, baby, I'm busy right now. We'll have to talk about this later. It's always when it relates to you that you could talk about it later. But for him, everything, now he's emotionally available only when he wants it. And that should show you that not only does he have the capacity to be emotionally available, that it's intentional that he's not. So now again, you're carrying the emotional weight for the whole relationship. So now he's able, right, to be emotionally dependent on you, but it's not reciprocal. One thing about emotional neglect that many of the women that are listening to this video that I want you to understand, right, is that it is intentional. He's intentionally withholding emotional care, safety, and stability in the relationship. And he wants to be the only one that benefits from the relationship. A relationship is two people esteeming each other, two people taking care of the needs of each other. Even as they evolve, they are making a decision to choose each other, to turn to each other. This man who is emotionally neglectful, he is saying that his needs are more important than yours. And the expectation is that you give him what he needs. And when you don't, sometimes these men will cheat and then they'll blame you. But meanwhile, let me say this. Okay, because I don't ever want you to think that cheating is your fault. He was withholding himself emotionally in the relationship, and you match that energy, or you don't have the capacity. Because there's a thing, you could be so drained, you don't have the capacity. And what does he do? He goes to another woman. So now not only do you have to deal with the emotional neglect, you have to deal with sometimes the shame, you also have to deal with the betrayal. And he set it up so you're not successful in the relationship. Don't fall for this. Don't fall for this. Again, if you're with a man who's emotionally neglectful and you're like, Cynthia, I need help navigating this. I want to have a conversation with him one more time. And if I don't see any change in the relationship, then I need steps to be able to leave the relationship. I want you to schedule a coaching call. This is Healed and Sexy. My name is Cynthia. Until we talk again.